Hey guys, Ethan here, and welcome to 2023. Of course, first half of the year is unpacked for the Galaxy S series. We're now on the 23rd, or technically the S23 series. We have three smartphones right here, right now. We have the S23 Ultra, S23 Plus, and the S23. Of course, each size of the smartphone has their own specialties. So we're going to have a deep dive on each smartphone. But to give you an insight, we have four overall colors right now, which we have the lavender, the white, the graphite black, and of course my favorite for the year will be the green. It's really inspired more on having that kind of sustainability, which is the trend right now for tech brands here and of course globally, and hopefully I can explain to you why it's really important moving forward that Samsung is really into this endeavor moving forward as a leader in terms of smartphones, and why it should be followed by other smartphone brands as well. So let's check it out now. Okay guys, welcome back to the Hungry Geeks studio. So as you may seen on the thumbnail earlier, I focused on three items that I mentioned. One is simple, premium, nightography, and sustainability or environment friendly. So those are the three top points that I really noticed on the Galaxy S23 series. So to start off, the Galaxy S23 series is available in four colors. What you saw earlier was the lavender, the white, the green, and also the black. The lavender is the front color for the S23 and S23 Plus, and the S23 Ultra fronts the green color. Personally, for my choice, it's really the green because it's really one of a kind color right now where it has that kind of attachment where they're fronting sustainability now or environmental friendliness. So let's see on the aspect of simple premium. What I noticed across all the Galaxy S23 series now is just using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, the latest one with bigger vapor cooling chambers. So it's really having that kind of sense of better management in heat, better thermals, and also better in performance because of the new processor. Fortunately, not like before where there's a confusing Exynos and Snapdragon, we only have one processor now. Next is on the display. You can choose from 6.1, 6.6, and 6.8, but take note, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is a curved display. The S23 are more of a flat edge. On the corners are really flat as well, more of a boxy type, and the bezels are really thin right now. So that is really a simple premium in terms of the AMOLED display, which is the dynamic AMOLED times 2, which they promote having better colors, contrast, and those really pop out colors on the vibrance. So giving you more of a premium feel when you scroll up. So it's really nice in terms of viewing pleasurement. Of course, when you're watching movies, it's HDR compatible as well. And what I really like is the 120 Hz for the whole series, but this is the good one. Variable refresh rate as low as 48 for the S23 and S23 Plus, and as low as 1 Hz for the S23 Ultra. Of course, the main benefit here for the S23 Ultra is the S Pen. The S Pen now has more features in terms of remote control for the camera, integration. That's the one they demoed. They can now swiftly change in terms of the camera modes, and it's really a nice feature because you're now maximizing the S Pen not only as a tool in terms of writing, but now also as a pointer, as a tool in wireless communication. Or so next is, if you're going to choose which among the three phones, here's a tip. S23 is really intended for small users of having the likeness of a 6.1-inch smartphone, but good features in terms of the performance, but a little bit down on the storage because it's only 8GB RAM up to 256GB. You have 128 and 256. If you go up to the S23 Plus, you have a 6.6-inch display with 8GB of RAM starting at 256 and up to 512GB. So you have two configurations there. And lastly is the Galaxy S23 Ultra for 12GB of RAM starting at 256, 512, and a whopping 1TB. So moving on the simple premium, it's Android 13, One UI 5.0 from Samsung. They call it as more of having that premium approach of the UI, and now integration of having better copy paste. And what I like is that now you can create your own stickers. Aside from that, we have protection now in terms of military grade protection for the smartphone. So military grade protection is really important right now, especially when you're valuing your the data protection for your digital assets. Now at the time of where scams are really at the highest, now is really the best time to protect your data. Samsung Knox is now integrated across all of these Samsung devices. I've been using it since 2020. I really like how it gives you protection of your files. You're gonna have password encodement and those kind of things, and even encryptment. But now, it has AI detection where you're sending files. It's going to ask you, are you really sure you want to send this file? If it's really data sensitive, are you really sure that you want to send this private information with this website and etc.? So now it's really deep down or giving you a deeper dive in terms of the value of your data. So hopefully on this one, I could also see more spam blocking for SMS text. Okay, number 2 is the NIGHTOGRAPHY. NIGHTOGRAPHY for the Samsung Galaxy S23 series is one of their highlighted features. With improved optics for all of the smartphones right now, they have said that it's really going to have a better foreground and background separation for the smartphones, AI detection. We also have proper noise reduction, and lastly is image stabilization of having video recording of 8K. So that's really nice, up to 60 FPS if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to show you some samples here, but first on the camera specs of each. S23 and S23 Plus first. Now you have 3 cameras at the back, 1 at the front. So 50 megapixel main camera, 10 megapixel telephoto lens up to 3 times optical zoom, 12 megapixel ultra wide lens, and of course at the front 12 megapixel. On the S23 Ultra, it's a little bit different, and one of the most prominent of them all, a 200 megapixel camera, which is really kind of bonkers right now, but I kind of understand with all of those processing power and AI. I think they're going to be able to take advantage on this one. So 200 megapixel main, again same set as the others, 10 in terms of telephoto lens 3 times, and then 12 ultra wide lens, and the additional one is a 10 times optical zoom lens via periscope, which you can have digital zoom as well, similar to the Galaxy S22 series. So now you have a higher megapixel count, which can be compressed down into a lower megapixel count or the usual photos, not using the super high megapixel ones, but still more pixels, more data processing, more data, and lastly more details. Okay, let's check out right now some sample photos that I took using the Galaxy S23 Ultra. So here is a night photo covered in blackout curtains around. So using only a very minimal light from the down source. Here you can see my face is a little bit more prominent on the front here on this area, which I really like. So on my face, you can still some capture on the face details, and the level of details on the LED light, strip light is nice. Although black on black, you won't be able to detect too much of the hair. Of course, here it's losing a little bit of the details. On the lower part where it's more on the floor, you can see more details because of the light coming from the curtains. I really like this part where it's more of a detailed, where my face is separated from the foreground to the background, so it has more details. The LED light strips is really harsh in lighting, so mind you, if I do this on another smartphone, it's really hard to do it. So kudos to Samsung on this one, that the level of details in terms of the AI to detect the foreground and also the background, separating it first before enhancing the AI and doing more in noise reduction and also the night photography, adding layers of additional HDRs when capturing night photos. All of them combined is a result of this. Okay, next is Isa of Isa Does Tech. Here you can see the mini disco ball is properly separated from the subject. On her face, some details are a little bit lost on this part, but of course that's because of the focus, but still a lot of details of her hair is still properly captured. Her face is well lit, although there is a little bit more of a harsh noise here on the bottom part because it can't really detect too much, or it's fighting already from the light of the LED light. But I think Samsung can still fix this with a software update in the future, because it's really just more of a separation. Of course, the unit we were testing just really more of an initial unit, so there will still be a lot of improvements on this one. Next is Vika of the Modern Creatures. You can see here also the same effect on her face with a little bit of a harsh lighting here. But mind you guys, I'll repeat it once again. If you use another smartphone, especially a basic smartphone on this one, this will just be really overexposed and you won't be able to take a photo of this one. I like that how her cardigan is still captured, especially on the elbow side and this side. The level of details of her clothes is still kept, and the level of details of her hair, despite the harsh lighting from the LED strip light, is kept well. Using the Galaxy S23 Ultra's S Pen. So here was me taking pictures using the S Pen's remote control, and you can see my face is properly detected. Even the level of hairs here properly detected as well. Separation from the background and foreground. It's really nice details, even on the rear camera setup. And look at the level of details for my jacket's embroidery. It's really nice. I'm just really zooming very harsh right now, but if you're going to post in social media this level of detail, I think it's a winner as well. Also use the front camera. Here it's a little bit more for harsh lighting, and I think there's a little bit of a smudge on the screen because of these uneven colors from the white balance, but still level of details is good. Colors are fine, even from the background, from my face to my red jacket and my orange t-shirt, all were properly detected, and I think this is a winner in terms of selfie as well. Lastly this is a winner photo for me. Two LED street lights that are very harsh in lighting still was able to capture a black cloth table. So to give you some background, when sometimes AI technology detects black, it's really having a hard time in detecting whether it's dark or the item is just black. Here, Samsung was able to detect both. So, it's a dark condition, it focused on what it's needed to focus, and it was able to even capture details on the tablecloth. So, Samsung, clap clap. Okay, so this 2023, actually last year, it already started where some smartphones or even some brands were taking steps to reduce their carbon footprint, and even laptop brands taking some steps on saving Mother Earth. Of course, reducing your carbon footprint from the manufacturing stage is really a big step in terms of reducing the carbon footprint. For Samsung, they promote that the speaker grills, which is usually plastic or commonly plastic, plus the S23 Ultra's S Pen is made of ocean-bound plastics. But honestly, is that really just it? Are there many more plastics that you can find inside a smartphone? Honestly, right now, there's none. Those are the main plastic components. Unless you go probably backwards on a non-premium smartphone, on a mid-range smartphone, perhaps there will be more plastic components. But still, that's a good step for Samsung. I really like the initiative as a leader in terms of the mobile smartphone field. I like what they did, and kudos to them. Of course, the packaging is also 100% recycled materials. No more plastic on the packaging, plus recycled soybean ink, soy paper, and soy ink. So I think that will be really nice in terms of recycling. And if Samsung can do it, I'm sure others can do it as well. Because the overall goal here is, once you have a smartphone that has everything, I think you can see from the pattern that the way I analyze it as well is simple premium. Simple premium meaning there's not a lot of specs that are very high convoluting or very intimidating for you. Everything is just really fine and dandy and premium. And then you have very good cameras. The next will be having a better attachment of the device to your purpose in life as well. So having a smartphone that has better carbon footprint, I think some of us will really like that. But of course, that is just one part of the story. I have some questions which is I'm going to ask right now. How many % are plastic, and what more can they do in the future? Honestly, having those plastics just recycled is a very small percentage of what's inside the smartphone. What else can they push on the boundaries of this one? That is a very exciting thing to know in the near future for me as well. Oh, before I forget, battery, of course you're asking. S23 is a 3900 mAh battery, 25 watt charging. And then for the S23 Plus, 4,700 mAh, 45 watt charging. And the S23 Ultra is 5,000 mAh, 45 watt charging. All of them has fast wireless charging as well. Of course, lastly is if you're going to avail the Samsung Galaxy S23 series starting from today, February 2 to February 23, if you pre-order, there are 3 exciting things that might be in front of you. One is an upgrade in terms of storage. So coming from an S23 128 to 256, coming from an S23 Plus, if you start with 256, you can go to 512. If you pre-order an S23 Ultra, you can get 256 to 512 and 512 to 128, saving you up to 8,000 pesos. Of course, not only that, you get discounts for Samsung accessories such as the Samsung Galaxy Buds and the Samsung Galaxy Watch, up to 50% off. Plus, lastly, if you want to trade in your smartphone, you can do so with their trade-in promo. If you are qualified with their select smartphones, you can have tokens up to 13,000 pesos. So make sure to check out their website in how to avail their promos as well. So I think that's a very complete package from a glass body, metal edges, and then good battery, good display, performance high notch, and of course that Samsung protection in terms of the software. It's a complete package. Honestly, I like the S23 Ultra right now. It doesn't have that kind of intimidating specs. Everyone will be able to relate. It's just that if you believe on the sustainability side, for me, it's a little bit of a gimmicky right now. Hopefully, they do more. Not just on the S23 series or the S series, but also across all lineup. So that's one thing I would really look forward to. Okay, that's it for the first insights of the Samsung Galaxy S23 series or the family for the S23. Hope you like this video. Check us out on our website as well, www.hungrygeeks.com.ph. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on our social media channels. Hopefully, I can give you more insights on an industry aspect as well, since I came from this industry, and the changes are really, really interesting and how it could benefit you as well. So once again, my name is Ethan Guzman. Thank you so much and see you in the next video. Bye! By the way, shout out to Isa of Isa Does Tech, Nicole Batak of Lifestyle, Travel and Technology, and lastly, Vika of The Modern Creatures for helping me out on some of the photos and also the shots on this video. I'll give them a link on this video as well down below. Make sure you follow them as well and check out their videos about the Samsung Galaxy S23 series as well. So thank you so much guys. Bye!